Here at The Bottom Line, we love freedom, we love choice, and gosh darn it, that's why we love the USA. But there are powerful, rich forces who would rather you fall in line with their vision for the world.
It's all in the new book called CONTROLIGARCHS, exposing the billionaire class, their secret deals, and the globalist plot to dominate your life.
Let's bring in the author of that book, Seamus Bruner. Seamus, good to see you, and thanks for joining us on The Bottom Line. You're speaking our language. Dagan and I talk about this all the time. Tell us what you've learned about the CONTROLIGARCHs.
Yeah, that's right, Sean. Most people have heard by now that Bill Gates is amassing large tracts of farmland all across the country. But what they don't know is why a software salesman or how can become a farmer. And it's actually very interesting. Bill Gates has adapted this Microsoft strategy from the 1990s that got it into trouble with antitrust regulators. The strategy was called Embrace, Extend, Extinguish, where Microsoft would enter an industry, the internet browser industry. It would extend its reach, and then it would extinguish the competition. And so we're seeing that right now with Bill Gates's both his land investments and his food investments. He's investing in these fake meat companies. So he enters the farming space. He acts as if, it's just a honest, humble investment. And then he expands his reach, buys up more and more properties, and then he pushes for the regulations that are going to put the farmers out of business.
Putting farmers out of business to what end? Because he single-handedly is going to save Mother Earth?
Yeah, I mean, that's the claim. It's an ambitious goal to save the planet. He talks about the fertilizers, and it just so happens that he owns investments that have new climate-friendly patented fertilizers. So he's cornering the fertilizer market, the food, the land market, and then, yes, through representatives like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, you hear her talk about cow flatulence and why we need to ban cows. You can see in Europe, the governments are much further along in banning the cows. Ireland, for example, is set to slaughter 40,000 cows. You've seen the Dutch farmers have been protesting the new fertilizer restrictions. It just so happens that Bill Gates' investments benefit from these policies that the farmers are so upset about.
So, Seamus, I know you can't look into the mind of Bill Gates, but is he doing this because he wants money, power, influence? Is he doing this for the good of humanity, which I can't believe that's the answer? But what's the purpose behind why he's doing what he's doing?
Well, the book really gets into who Bill Gates is. It tracks his whole upbringing and his founding of Microsoft, and it shows that prior to around 1994, he was not a philanthropist at all. And his mother encouraged him to be more generous with the money he was making with Microsoft. He wasn't, and then when she passed away, he felt a change of heart. It also coincided, however, with the Justice Department looking into Microsoft's practices. So he went from being this kind of cutthroat businessman. People on the left didn't really like Bill Gates back then. And then all of a sudden he starts giving away all of his money to causes that the left loves, and he became a hero. Well, his money, every dollar he's given away since setting up the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has come back twofold. And I can tell you he's not tithing.
His judgment is poor, knowing that he was rubbing elbows with Jeffrey Epstein. Of all the people, but just to stay on Gates, because the whole book covers a number of individuals before we go, Seamus, he is focused on fake meat and fake dairy. It's synthetic dairy and lab-grown meat. So if he has his way, we will never be able to eat real food. We will eat food that Bill Gates has a hand and a dollar in creating. That is a frightening prospect.
Yeah, and you see it with a lot of these tech guys. They have a God complex on steroids. There's nothing wrong with cows. There's nothing wrong with dairy. It's a pretty great source of protein. And so, why they think that they can reinvent what is already quite fine and has been since forever is mystifying, other than the profit motive.
Seamus, I wish we had more time, because I know in your book you also talk about the central bank digital currency movement taking away your freedom, how powerful it is and how we have to fight back against it. Next time we'll talk about that, but you can also find it in Seamus's book. Seamus Bruner, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Dagan.